I'm Commissioner Nancy Jester, and welcome to Make DeKalb Strong. DeKalb needs a CFO edition. Right now, you may not know, but DeKalb County does not have a CFO. We don't have a deputy CFO either. The way we get a CFO is that the CEO, Lee May, has to nominate someone, and then it comes to the Board of Commissioners for approval. That process has not happened. We have interviewed people. I've been in on those interviews, and I can tell you that we've had a candidate who really fits the bill, who has all the determination, all the technical expertise and skills and experience, but yet we have seen no nomination to the Board of Commissioners. So I'm very disappointed in that. It puts you at risk. Let me tell you about some of the things that are going on, and I think have a very direct line that can be drawn to the fact that we don't have a CFO. Right now, we are past the deadline, the state deadline for our audit. That's supposed to be completed 180 days after the end of the fiscal year. We are well past that for 2015. It's not been completed because they've had difficulty in reconciling $5 million in cash transactions. If we had a CFO who had put in place the proper processes, then I believe that we would not be sitting in this current position, or at least we would know about it, be talking about how we are fixing it now with a new CFO. We don't have that person in place. What happens when you don't have an audit? Well, let me tell you an implication of that. When you go into the market to borrow money, it can cost you more. In fact, just recently we had to put forth the debt instrument called Certificates of Participation, or COPs, for funding of the animal shelter project. And when we went to market, we had to go to the private market because we didn't have an audit. Because to go to the public market, where generally you would get a better rate, you have to have an audit so you can be rated for that bond issuance. Now we're lucky, we got a very good deal in the private market, but luck is not a method, and it is unconscionable that we could not have taken out a public offering on your behalf, that it went to the private markets. That's a consequence of not having an audit and completed timely. Not having an audit completed timely is evidence of the problems with the processes and reconciliations going on in the finance department. And let me go back to the Finance, Audit, and Budget Committee. The Finance Committee, as long as I have been here, has never reviewed financial statements for the county. It's right there in what the committee's supposed to be doing. Sadly, it only seems to review contracts. It's only interested in contracting at the county level. But in fact, we need to be reviewing financial documentation on an ongoing basis and examining the policies and procedures of the finance department. But of course, that committee's not acting appropriately. We don't have a CFO, and now we don't have an audit, and now we can't even proceed with things that we need to. And right here in my hand, I have a list of findings, just very informally written by a consultant who had been here, who's no longer here, who is trying to sort of fill in during this year, sort of in an advisory capacity, since we were without a CFO. This person wrote many interesting observations. We don't have all kinds of policies in place that we need, where cash management isn't working well, reconciliation isn't being done, financial statements aren't being discussed with the appropriate committees. These things are just some of the highlights that consultant brought forward. So we deserve, you deserve, the taxpayers deserve a CFO minding the shop. It's your money, and you deserve somebody looking after it. And so it leads me to wonder, who's running things in DeKalb County? Is Lee May running things, or is he waiting on Mr. Thurman or someone else to make a decision? Because we need a CFO right now. It's costing you right now. There are real risks right now. We started this year, 1/1/2016, without a CFO, and it is high time we get a nomination. Mr. May can bring forward a nomination to us, and then we can approve it and get someone in place. That needs to happen right now. A qualified, ethical person with the correct experience is not a political issue. It's not an administration issue. This person works for you, the taxpayer, has to be approved by the board. This is not a person that someone should be allowed just to pick. If they work for you, and we need them in that spot right now. So I hope you'll join with me in asking that the CEO in the county, that we get our act together and that we get a CFO in place because the taxpayers deserve a CFO.